Hey, I'm Rusty Hudson, lead pastor here at Cornerstone Church, and I just wanted to take a minute and get you up to date on a next step that we're about to take in light of our Exponential movement. Almost 9 months ago, we made our first step here in Auburn by starting a second campus at Lee Scott Academy. And ever since we did that, we've been asking another question. Really, God, what is that next step for us? Where would you like us to go now? And we've always said that Opelika was a place that we felt like we could start a new movement, another work. And so as we've been praying, God has led us specifically to begin looking at downtown Opelika. We have many connections to downtown musically and through businesses and various ways, and so we just felt like there was a natural way for us to begin to make a step down there. There's a unique opportunity to do some unique ministry and to present the gospel there in a way that would be very open to people who are not connected to church, to people who may be waiting for an expression like we could offer in that part of Opelika. More specifically, we've been led to a place, and that is the Irish Bread Pub. It's on the corner of 9th Avenue and Railroad Avenue. It's a restaurant and bar, and we just know that that's a place that is a hub for people in that community, a place where many people come to. We also know they have space upstairs, a small stage and seating for about 60 to 70 people. So we began to think, what would it be like for us to go to that place and just start a very small work? Maybe people who come together and worship, there's teaching on Sunday morning, and then that same group goes out and makes some missional moves in the community during the week, and then gathers back on Sunday again for worship and teaching and celebrating what's been done through the week. So this vision really began to well up in us, and we believe that God was calling us to this place. So with that, we went and met with Steve Nutter, the owner of the Irish Bread Pub, and I just shared my heart and vision for this. And really, honestly, before I got there, I was thinking that he's probably not going to go for this, a church meeting in his restaurant and all that. But after I finished sharing this vision with him, he paused and he said, "You know, Rusty, I've wondered since leaving my other restaurant and coming down here, why have I come down here to do this work?" And he said, "I think maybe today I'm discovering why I'm here." And with that, we just took that as a total affirmation from God that this was something that we should do. And really the conversation with Steve just began to go off in a great direction. And he began to talk about what it would look like for us to do that and how he could help us. And so after that, we just believed it was time to make a real move in that direction. So we went back and we met with the executive team of our church and laid this out. And it was a unanimous 100% vote, yes, we should do this. And it was interesting, it was not just we could do this, but it was really a we should do this. This is something our church should do with our DNA and our heart and passion for mission. And we started having a conversation in that meeting, just if Jesus were here today, this would be the kind of ministry that he would engage in. This is a place that he would go. So we've said yes to this, and we're going to take a step forward and make this happen. So the question you may have is who's going to be leading this effort? And it's interesting that that person has been right here with us the whole time. It's Brian Johnson, who leads worship at our Hamilton Road site. And I remember 5 years ago when we hired Brian to lead worship, he said, "Now, Rusty, I want you to know I'm fully committed to leading worship for as long as it's necessary, as long as God has called me to do this, but the other half of my heart is for mission, and someday I'll be doing mission." And I was like, okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And so I guess here we are standing at the edge of the bridge, and we're about to cross it. And we just really believe that Brian is called to do this, and our leadership has affirmed him. He and Kristen have prayed about this. They're preparing their hearts to make a move to Opelika and to begin this new work. So we're very excited about that, and I'd really rather you hear from Brian, and so he's going to share with you a little bit more about what this is going to look like.
Hey, I'm Brian Johnson. As Rusty said, I've been leading worship at our Hamilton Road site for the last 5 years. And Kristen and I are just so excited about this next step that Cornerstone is taking into Opelika. We're passionate about engaging people who feel disconnected from the church just in some unique ways so that they can experience the love of Christ. And we believe that God has shaped our story over the last 12 years to prepare us for this journey. The Bread Pub has become a cultural hub in our community, and it continues to draw people together. And as a leadership team, we can't think of a better place that's suited to begin a new and unique work like this. We really see Sunday morning at the Bread Pub being just a casual environment that is relationally engaging, And just as at our other sites, we will be committed to relevancy and being authentic and doing that in community. We will devote ourselves to teaching the Scripture. This site will be somewhat different than our other sites, just in the fact that we're meeting in a pub, and so it doesn't lend itself to a large band that leads worship or to a dedicated children's area, but this will be a place that we seek Jesus together. The Bread Pub can only hold about 70 people upstairs, and so our launch team will be intentionally small from the beginning. But we just want to be able to make room for people who don't know Christ or don't have a relationship with a church to have a place to come to and that they can engage in an environment that is much less like a traditional church building or gathering space. And so this launch team, outside of that Sunday morning, will find ways to engage the city, to serve it, to carry out those things that Jesus called us to do of feeding people and clothing people and serving the sick and just finding ways to engage people with the love of Christ just as we have been loved. So we just ask that you just continue to pray with us as we begin this journey. And if you have any other questions just about the direction we're headed, I would love to talk with you more about it.
So we're real excited for Brian and the call that God has placed on his life and just this move that we're going to be making in Opelika. Right now we're trying to nail down a time frame for this, and we'll keep you posted as that unfolds. We're just asking you right now to do a couple of things. Number one, just to pray. Pray about this move. Pray that God will continue to open doors for us to make this move into Opelika. Pray for the hearts of the people there, for them just to be open and prepared to receive this ministry. And then also just continue to invest in the ways that you're already investing through giving and through serving and just being a part of this exponential movement. There's so much more to be done, and we're so excited, and we're going to continue to look for new ways and new opportunities to take the gospel to this part of our world. So we just look forward to the future and what God has in store for us.